Oh. Oh. Hey everyone, welcome back to the VSO Gun Channel. It's great to be here as always. Thank you for tuning in. And you're like, Kurt, why are you wearing black latex gloves? That's kind of weird. And to you, I would say, well, they're butyl nitriles actually, so get your stuff straight. But what we're doing here today is this thing. Welcome in the Walker Defense Research DLC coated bolt carrier group. This is one of the hardest things I have ever photographed. This thing is basically a mirror. DLC is diamond-like carbon and it coats the surface. It's supposed to be super slick. It has taken over the premium coating space. And we all know that it's pretty slick, but Walker Defense Research is known for being pretty slick themselves, and they have dug into the surface prep before going into the DLC, saying, well, how can we improve this a little bit? So what I'm going to do today is we're going to take this beautiful work of art out to the range and get it absolutely filthy. It will never look this good ever again. I'll go take a bunch of pictures. And we're going to put this head-to-head next to a quote-unquote standard bolt carrier group. I think the one that I have that's new is nitrided. And we're just going to shoot some ammo through a suppressed rifle with this and another bolt carrier group in their same rifle and see, is this easier to clean? Because the DLC coating and this extra surface prep is supposed to make it run very smoothly. And one could say clean easier. Those are really the two things I think about when I think about digging into the coatings on these small parts. Is what is the benefit of the coating? Is it just that it looks cool, or does it actually add a tangible benefit? So we're going to go out there, get this thing absolutely messed up, and then bring it and its competitor back and clean them and see, well, did we have an appreciable impact? Now on the range, and as you can see, we have some adverse testing conditions, which is pretty par for the course generally for Ohio. And then of course, you know, here it's like we have this just like Bermuda Triangle that is over the farm, but it is what it is. So as you can see, nice and shiny. In fact, you probably can't see it because it's so shiny, it just like absorbs all the light. But anyway, I'm going to take this, I'm going to go ahead and jam it in that rifle over there. We'll shoot the piss out of it, and then we'll swap it out for the other one. And then we'll set them in the vault and just let them cure for a couple days before we try to clean them. This is the gun that we're working with. God. God. Great success. 2 magazines. All right, that ought to be filthy enough. Rain's really starting to come down now. So now we're gonna do the nitride bolt and get out of here before we get soaked all the way through. Oh. Oh. Well, there's the first indicator. Not quite 25 rounds in both magazines because of the failures, but I think that that tells the story. Let's get out of here. All right, real quick lay of the land. This is the original bolt that was in the gun that we had to beat out with a rock. We won't need it for today. Here we have the dark matter bolt, and this is that nitrided bolt that we tested alongside of it. We have a just soap solution here, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna focus on one part of the bolt, and I'm going to clean it with a Q-tip, and then we'll stack the Q-tips as they get cleaner on down the way, and then we can kind of use that as a unit of measure, if you will. So we'll start with the dark matter bolt. We'll set this one aside for the time being. And I've already taken pre-photos of this region over here. So we're just gonna, even though it's not gonna be the hardest part of the bolt to clean, we're just gonna pick this face and we'll do the same thing on the other one because it's readily available. And just kind of roll it across. So there's one. I could probably do a little bit better job than that. We'll drag a little bit more as we go. Yeah, our backspin, there we go. Yeah, so that's user error. You can already see the Walker Defense logo there. So as we go, we want to and I'd say that that's looking like it's getting pretty clean. So let's just do a tester. Let's see what happens when we just drag the area that the Q-tip has been kind of in. Yeah, it's clean. Nothing. And we'll do the same thing with this nitrided bolt. And we're starting to get through the crud. You can sort of see it, but you can definitely tell that there's still a layer of it on there. So we've already, of course, gone farther than the dark matter bolt. So I'm going to try to just be kind of intensive here and see if we can just yeah. Still going. All right. One more. And I think we'll call it pretty close to clean. I'm just, well, I will not count that one because I dipped that one down into this uncleaned area before. So let's, just this part here and do the same thing. So just here, still a little bit of dirt on it, but we call that relatively clean. So roughly twice as much to get it clean.
Did we really need to clean the bolts to get our answer? I don't think that we did, because I'm pretty sure that the range session pretty much told the story on functionality. Is there an added benefit? Yes, certainly. But from cleaning it, there are some cool things that I wanted to point out, and to do that, I'll take you on a real quick tangent. I've been an active participant in the gun industry since about 2012. I was working in the laboratory full time, but that's about the time that I started to shift my focus towards this pursuit as my main gig. And that's about when I started my business plan, all that sort of stuff. But anyway, in that time, I watched the technology progress and watched that technology be applied differently across various concentrations in our industry. And I remember as far as like the bolt carrier group is concerned, it was first like phosphate, everything was phosphate, and then it went to chrome plated. And there were some problems with chrome plating, but it was cool because it was like very high visibility. You could see when something was dirty. And then from there, it went to like nickel boron very rapidly and nitriding kind of at the same time. And now we are doing the DLC thing. And there, of course, there's some colored nano and stuff like that out there. I'm not covering everything. The titanium bolts, and there's a whole bunch of different things that go into this. But one of the things, and I guess we'll start with the nitrided bolt, that I sort of don't like about nitriding is while it is cheap and easy to do, when the thing is dirty, you don't actually know whether you've cleaned it or not. There's no contrast whatsoever. And I'm going to show you the before and after photos and tell me that you can immediately tell me which one of those is the before and after, and I'll label them for you so that you actually know. If you zoom in there, you can sort of see where I went through with the Q-tip to clean that bolt, but you can't really tell if it's dirty or not unless you like grab hold of it and get soot on your hands, right? Versus something like the nickel boron or the chrome, like immediately you can tell that those things are dirty. And I would say that that's the same thing with the DLC. Even though it's black, it's very slick. And because of that, you can tell when the thing has been cleaned. So if I show you the before and afters of the dark matter bolt, man, I tell you what, you can see a huge contrast between those two. And then when you put the two side by side, the dark matter bolt's an objectively superior product. Even parts of the bolt carrier group that I didn't clean, like if you look at the locking lugs on the dark matter bolt, they're still shiny, which indicates to me that as the gun is working, it's just sheeting that gunk off, versus like if you look at the ones on the nitrided bolt, it's kind of clinging to that. And some of the other bells and whistles you might look at is when they stake it, they use bolts that have increased surface area. They got like notches in there, so when you peen the material to stake it, it can actually sink into the material of the bolt, increasing the surface area contact, make sure that it doesn't back out. So all in all, I think, again, the range session really told the story. There is increased functionality on going to a DLC bolt. And I would say that a major contender in your mind should be the extra work that is put in by the people over at Walker Defense. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Any questions, go ahead and post them in the comment section down below. Along with your ideas for future testing, you guys usually give me some pretty darn good ideas. And hopefully we'll see you on another video here at the VSO Gun Channel.